Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I want to share what I wish I knew before I started teaching in China. I've been here for more than 20 years and looking back, I think these points will help anyone who's planning to begin their teaching journey here. When I first came to China, I didn't realize how different the categories of teaching jobs were. China has kindergartens, training centers, public schools, universities, bilingual schools, and international schools. And each of these operates in a completely different way. Training centers definitely have a curriculum, and some even give you a full script to follow. If you stick to it, the class usually runs smoothly because their system is built around fun, games, high interaction, and movement. That's why the formula good English plus foreign face equals teacher works in that environment. Kindergartens are similar in their expectations. The focus is on creating a positive atmosphere through singing, dancing, repeating simple language, doing activities, and keeping kids engaged and happy. It's still teaching, but not academic teaching. Public schools and universities usually offer lighter schedules, no office hours, and moderate pay. Meanwhile, bilingual and international schools offer much higher salaries, real accountability, and serious professional development. And here's something I wish I had understood earlier. If I had known how strong the career path is in international education, I would have pursued a teaching qualification much sooner. For many years, I worked in kindergartens, public schools, and training centers, sometimes juggling 3 different jobs at once because I was focused on earning money. What I didn't realize back then is that the combined salary of 3 small jobs was more or less equal to one position in an international school, but with far less stress and far more stability. When I finally entered the international school world, IB schools in my case, I understood what meaningful teaching feels like. You see students progress, you work within a professional system, and you grow as an educator. I also wish I had known earlier about IB schools, Cambridge schools, and the American and Canadian curriculum schools, because learning about these options opened my eyes to what teaching could actually be. And by the way, if you want to dive deeper into this topic, I have another video where I compare working in universities with working in international schools. If you want to watch it, the link will appear right here. Another thing I wish I knew is that laws and expectations for foreign teachers can vary quite a lot across China. The country is unified, but different provinces, cities, and even districts have slightly different attitudes toward foreign workers. Some places are extremely strict and monitor everything closely, while others are much more relaxed. When you first arrive, you naturally assume that everything works the same everywhere, but that's not the case, and understanding this earlier would have helped me make sense of why experiences differ so much depending on location. Something many newcomers misunderstand is that if you are in China on a work visa, you cannot legally have a part-time teaching job. The only very rare exception is when you are a university student and your major is directly related to your part-time work. And even then, the university must give you written permission. Very few universities do this. If you take illegal part-time jobs, you risk fines, losing your visa, deportation, or short-term detention. It's simply not worth it. And if you want to learn more about this, I actually have a full episode discussing the topic with a friend of mine who explains the legal side extremely well. I'll put the link right here as well. Another thing I wish I knew from the beginning is that signing a contract through a recruiting agency is almost always a bad idea. Some recruiters take a significant cut of your salary every month. The school pays them and they pay you after keeping their percentage. When you're new, you don't notice it immediately, but by the time you realize how much you're losing, months have already passed. If possible, always try to sign directly with the school. I also wish I had known more about how work ethics function in China. In many Chinese institutions, especially public schools, universities, and kindergartens, the most important expectation is punctuality. You can prepare the most creative, well-planned lesson, but if you show up late, that becomes a major problem. International schools, of course, care deeply about planning, curriculum, assessment, and teaching quality, but in many other settings, being on time is the #1 expectation. Understanding this earlier would have helped me adapt much faster. Another thing I wish I knew earlier is that I should have continued studying Chinese seriously even while I was working. I originally came to China to learn the language, but once I began teaching and earning money, I focused more on work and social life, and my Chinese studies slowly slipped away. Later, I realized how valuable the language is for daily life, for building relationships, and for future job opportunities. It's never too late to learn, but I wish I had kept it as a priority from the beginning. Finally, I wish I had known in my early 20s how important it is to behave like a guest when you live in another country. China can feel overwhelming if you're not ready for it. It can be noisy, construction starts early in the morning, the communication style is different, people react differently to situations, and the pace of life can feel intense. Some foreigners come here with very rigid expectations and end up leaving within a year because everything feels too different. But staying flexible, calm, and patient makes your life much easier. It also protects your relationships, especially at work, and helps you build a good reputation. These are the main things I wish I knew before I started teaching in China. If you're planning to come here or considering a different teaching path, I hope this helps you prepare better. If you want to learn more about living, teaching, and working in China, please like this video and consider subscribing. See you in the next one.